What's going on, everybody? We're going to get started in a second. Just going to go ahead and send this link out, then we're going to go ahead and get started. Give me 1 second, y'all. But it's Monday morning, about to be a London session, October 17th, 2022. I'm going to see some setups, look for some setups for New York session as well. So I went over the stuff last night with the members. We had a Zoom call Sunday night, looking at potential setups for the weekend for this morning, and still much hasn't changed. We had that Zoom call around 9 p.m. EST. Not much has changed, but I do like how your AD is looking. As you can see on the daily time frame, it's been consistently making new highs since August. So I want to see if we can respect this level and continue to make a new high, because everything's showing me buys. Until I see otherwise, I'm going to be strictly looking for buys. If everything's showing me sells, until I see otherwise, I'm strictly going to be looking for sells. So if it can stay above this level of price, that'd be good. Let's see here. Still going to wait till London session to see what's going on though, but I do like how it's looking. So if we can stay above this level of price and continue pushing up, might enter. We do have a slight wall at like around 56.25, but it could potentially break that when volume picks up. So I'm going to be looking for a buy setup. Going to be a tight stop loss, probably underneath this level right here. Yeah, probably like right here. So we're just going to look back at this later, see how it's doing. Those jumping in, make sure that like button, y'all. Make sure that like button. Yeah, but for the most part, it's going to be looking like a usual Monday. Probably won't be I'll probably enter some trades during London session, but it looks like, of course, the most volume is going to be pumping in New York when more things start to open up for the week. So I'm probably going to have to wait till New York for most of the trades. We might be able to get into something during London session. So I'm paying attention to your AD. I'm going to be paying attention to your CHF. See what's going on there. GJ, I want to see if it can break back above like 167.90. I want to see if we can break back above there. So I'm just going to be watching to see what that's up to. But as you can see, it's rejecting this level of price. It's time to push down. It just hit it about 45 minutes ago, and it's rejecting that level, pushing back down, which isn't not normal, which is pretty normal. But I want to see if it can come back up. So just going to be watching this for now. But when you look at the daily time frame, you can see why it's rejecting, because you see every time that price has come up here, even when it's been, on a nice uptrend, it's rejected this level. So it's not a surprise. So I want to see if it's going to repeat what it's done in the past here, April, and then in June, and then in September, or if it can break through. We did have a nice push here a couple days beforehand last week. So it's going to be watching this to see what's going to happen. Yeah, so it's going to be very interesting. Let's see if we can break that. But again, it's Monday morning. I'm not going to be jumping to trades too soon. I'm going to wait and see what's going on in London. But for most of the pairs I like to trade, it looks like we're going to have to, wait for price to come to where I want it to come to. Same with GA. So the main ones I'm looking at for right now is going to be Euro AUD, Euro CHF, and I'm scanning around to see if there's anything else. But for the most part, prices are either in the middle of my zones, which I don't like to necessarily trade. So waiting for them to come to either zone, and then deciding how, determining how it's affecting that zone, how it's reacting, will determine if I want to enter or not. Okay, that's a little too far. Let's see what GBPJPY is up to. This one's rejecting the zone as well. ED New Zealand, we're looking for sales because, as you can see here, it's been making new lows. Hasn't really made a new high since it hit this level a couple weeks ago. As you can see, it's been consistently making new lows. All you see is red candlestick after red candlestick. You see a couple retracements, and it's at a perfect level for me. So I'm just going to be waiting until the London session, also see what these next candlesticks look like. But I'm definitely going to be looking for another sell to the downside. That is for sure. So we can get rid of these right here because we don't need these right now. If I want to see it continue to stay underneath this level, I want to see it break at least. I want to see at least break past this level right here. If it can break past this level here, then I might enter. I just want to see it break past the next closest wall. Because if we can stay underneath this level of price, if we can break down and stay underneath this level of price, it very much so could continue to the downside. That's when we'll be waiting to see. But I am going to be keeping an eye on it, and I am looking for sales. Just waiting for price to push out a little bit more. Whoops. Stop loss is going to be a tight stop loss. Probably going to put it. It's a strong wall of price right here, so I might just put it right here, honestly. Could put it up a little higher, above this level. That'd be like 1167. 1167. Yeah, we're gonna put it like right here. I might adjust it later, but I'm just gonna put it there for now. So let's go back to Euro AUD. Got a new candlestick. All right, cool. So we got another 15-minute candlestick till London session starts. So I'm just gonna keep an eye on it. But I do like how it's looking. This is definitely a good sign. But I want to see how it reacts to this wall here, because it could very much, retest after hitting this wall of price right here. So I want to see how price reacts to that. But yeah, if it stays above here, I might enter the next candlestick and enter London session, depending on what it looks like. Your CHF staying underneath this level of price. Went for a sell for this on Friday. As you can see, it went down a little bit. Struggled to come back down underneath this level and then rejected back up. But as you can see, it did hit the stop loss, but it didn't go too much farther. And it's right back here and it's going it again. It dropped down again, so it's attempting to push down again. So depending on what it looks like, I might go for another sell. Because it looks like it's still trying to. So just gonna keep an eye on that. Still gonna wait till London session before I enter anything. GBUSD, rejecting that level. Just scanning the other charts right now. But yeah, that's the only ones that really at a good entry for me. Just gonna keep an eye on these for now. And of course, when New York session comes around, pay attention to the USD pairs because they're almost where I want them to be at, but probably won't go to the level of price I want to see them at until New York session. So for US30, still gonna be looking for sales because on the daily time frame, still showing me sales for the most part. Came up, did a retracement here. So you can see it's been in a downtrend for a little bit. When it came up here, failed to make a new low, came back up here, failed to make another low, dropped back down, and now it's right here. So I want to see it come back up to between like 30,200 and 30,080-ish. And if it goes up there, depending what those candlesticks look like, I'll look for a sell there. Or if it continues to push back down, I want to see it break under 29,440, 29,450. And then depending what those candlesticks look like, I'll look for a sell there. But that's what I'm looking for. I'm still looking for sales because it's still showing me bearish behavior. Last week we had a few days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, where we're struggling to make a new low. Then the news came out, dropped down, created that rejection wick, and then after it hit this level of price, it shot back up. So after that happened, and then the red folder news on Friday helped bring price back down. It did shoot up a little bit right before news came out. Did a nice little fake out, messed the buyers up for sure. Then it dumped, and now it started right here today. Pushed back up, doing a slight retest. Could reject this lower price right here, or it could come back up to here, then drop down. So just going to be watching, see exactly what it's going to do when New York session comes up. Because you can see right here, it's underneath this wall of traffic right here, which is what I was talking about. But I went on the 4 hours, then kind of see it more clearly. You can see the dotted green lines underneath these 4 candlesticks right here. And you can see that it is struggling to break that level. So it's either going to break that level, retest the zone, and then drop again, or it's going to just continue to drop down. So that's what I'm going to watch out to see. The NAS100, very similar. The candlesticks last week were a little bit different, but still, as you can see, on a daily time frame in a downtrend. So still going to be strictly looking for sales. So I want to see it break underneath around the 10,000, like 690, 10,680 price range. If it can break underneath this lower price, going to look for a sell there. Or if it retraces to fill this up and retest, then I'm going to look for a sell around 10,950 to 10,920. I'm going to look for a sell there. So it could either retest this level, then look for a sell around there, or it's going to continue to break down. And I'm going to look for a sell when it brings under this level of price right here. That's going to be looking for. And let me just go back to your AUD and see what's going on. Okay, yeah, so struggling to break that wall right there, which is fine. I saw that coming. So we got 10 minutes before London session starts. So I want to see a retest candle. And depending on what that candle looks like, that might enter because, again, on the daily time frame, it's showing that price still wants to go up. We had a huge candlestick here. We had the rejection wick when it retested the zone, and it pushed all the way up. You see, it retested the zone here, and it's pushing back up. So definitely going to be looking for a buy opportunity. So I'm going to see a retest on this candlestick and then the next candlestick. And when volume starts to pick up going into New York session, I want to see it break these levels of price, at least coming to 56.45, which would be about 20 pips from where it's currently at. Let's see, adjust to on that level of price. Let's see here. GJ's rejecting that level hard. Let's soon be watching GJ. So Jared 30, same thing, gonna be still looking for sales. Of course, it looks a little bit different compared to US30 NAS100, but still overall in a downtrend. Retested this level, rejected it. You can see this is a strong support level right here. Strong support level can also be a strong resistance level, like you see right here. So what I want to see is it either break past this lower price, break underneath 12,280, 12,270 range and look for a sell there. Or if it wants to retrace back up, then I'll potentially look for a sell around like 12,570, 12,560. So either when it comes back up like this, look for a sell right here, depending on what the candlesticks look like. Or if it breaks under here, I'll look for a sell underneath this price and go for a sell from there. That's what I'm looking at there. But that's probably not going to start. Nothing's probably going to happen until closer to New York session or New York session. So just going to be patiently watching those. Same thing about SPX. You see on the daily time frame, it's an overall downtrend. So if everything showing me sells, we're only going to look for sells. Everything showing me buys, we're only going to look for buys. So it's either going to retest here, and if it retests around the 36,037 price range, I'll probably look for a sell right here, going back to the downside. Or if it drops underneath 35,080, then I'll look for a sell, dropping down to around, well, it probably won't come all the way down to here, but definitely the lowest I can see it going is around 3460-ish, 3461. But that's if volume is really pushing down, but that probably won't happen until later on in the week. The USDX is actually at a better entry, so I want to see how it reacts to 33.95. I want to see what's going to stay underneath there, look for sell there, or it could come up to 34,005, 34,006, and then look for a sell there. That's what I'm just going to be watching. So it's either going to come up here, reject this level, and drop back down. That's what I'll be looking for. Y'all jumping in here, make sure to hit that like button. So we got about 5 minutes till when the session starts. Going to see what those candlesticks look like for EA and Euro CHF to determine if I'm going to enter anything. But that's the only things that are really attracting me right now. I'm going to be keeping an eye on AD New Zealand, see what's going on there. So let's see what's going on right now. Once my screen loads. Yeah, so I can see and this is the 15-minute time frame, so about a few hours now. Actually longer. But for the most part, even when you look right here, and this was like the 13th last week, the price has just really been stuck on this level here. So it's just been bobbing. You just literally see it bobbing. So that's why I put that line there, because I want to see it break this level, because if it breaks that level, then it could potentially continue to push down to the downside and get out of this level of price that's stuck in. So that's what we're waiting for, to see it can break out of this zone that it's currently stuck in. Because again, you can see just been bobbing for hours. It's been doing this since the 13th of last week. So I want to see if we can break that out of that level and continue going down. 80 CAD. It's a little too far for me, but could probably enter at this price range, depending on what the candlesticks look like, at around 8,600. Depending on what that looks like, I might look for a sell. And GJ rejecting that level hard. Yeah, staying on top of that level right there. Okay, cool. So let's go over gold real quick. So gold is looking real interesting. So it's on top of this level of price. So I'd probably look for a sell if it can break underneath like 1645. I'll probably look for a sell, but it's probably going to try to retest this a little bit more. But I'd look for a sell if it can break back down under here. Look for a sell going down to at least 1630. I can see that the farthest it's going. It could go down to here, but I'm pretty sure when it hits this level, it would probably retrace and reject back up, especially considering it's Monday and the strategy I like to trade. It'll usually take a couple days before volume picks up to, go zone to zone. So that's what I'm going to be looking for there. Or, when it comes to this lower price, 1663 or 1674, I'm going to see how it's reacting there and determine if I want to enter. But for the most part today, it looks like most of the moves might be happening in New York session, or I just might be just observing the charts for the most part. But we're going to see. We see some opportunities. Candlesticks are looking right. We're going to take them. That's for sure. So we got about 2 minutes left. So while that's going on, we're going to go over how we did last week on the charts. But let's just go over the news for the week. So today's the 17th. Don't really got anything going on. Let me just refresh this so it's on my time. There we go. Bam. Bam. All right, bet. So don't have nothing going on until 8:30 a.m. We got the USD red folder news, Empire State Manufacturing Index. Then later on tonight, we got New Zealand and Australia, but that doesn't really concern me. I don't trade during these times. I only trade London and New York session, unless I'm holding a trade overnight. But for the most part, usually don't. So I'm not really concerned about that. So 8:30 a.m., that's probably when the USD price are really going to start moving. So like I said, New York session. Then Tuesday, we don't have any red folder news, so it should be a smooth Tuesday. Just going to have to look for the right setups and just patiently wait for price to come to me. Wednesday, right before London, we got GBP, CPI. And then right into New York, we got the Canada CPI, but that's about it. Then Thursday, we have USD, 8:30 a.m. again, Philly Fed Manufacturing Index. Then we have a couple orange folders. So 8:30 going into 10 a.m. the first couple hours. USD is going to be, affected by this. Going to see how it's going to act. We saw a couple examples, me and the students during the New York session live streams last week, how price reacts and moves during these red folder times. We went over that, and we actually saw in real time it do exactly that. There's only a few ways price moves during those times. Oh, it's 3 a.m. I'm going to go on the charts in a little bit. And then Friday, we have a couple orange folders, but no red folder news. So it should be much smoother compared to the last 2 weeks. But those that aren't new to Forex, you should already know the first couple weeks every month, especially every quarter, is when they do all those reports, unemployment, employment, oil, all that stuff. So when those reports come out, it can highly affect the economy and the market. People buying in, people selling assets, this, that, and the third. That's why there's so much spikes during that time, because a bunch of people listen to the news and doing what the news says. It only makes sense why the markets act the way they do. So it's doing the retest and retracing, like I said, it was most likely going to do. So what I want to see is, I'm just going to watch and see what the next candlesticks look like. I want to see if it's going to try to come back up. Again, it hit this wall, so I'm not surprised to do this, right? So we put this line right where this wick's at. We can see it hit this wall of price. Not a surprise. That's what I saw it coming, which is why, again, we're going to wait for multiple confirmations, because it could very much so come back up and continue to push, or when it hit that wall, it could reject all the way back down, which is why it's important to wait for multiple candlesticks to show you price is trying to do what you think it's going to do. Because just because it's hit this level, I could go for a buy, right? Yeah, it would have caught a couple pips. From here, would have been 56.02, 56.25. So that's a good amount of pips if I entered there. But I like to go for the bigger move, right? So if it comes from here and goes all the way to here, that's way more pips than 20 pips, and vice versa. So that's why I like to wait for just multiple confirmations to see that price is really trying to go that direction. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on that to see what's going on there. Let's see what Euro CHF is up to. So Euro CHF broke back underneath this level of price here and is retesting. So I'm going to watch and see what the next candlesticks look like and determine what I want to do from there. Because again, we went for a sell last week on Friday. It hit our stop loss. Did kind of have a tight stop loss, but even if I opened it up even more, still would have hit it, so it doesn't really matter. But as you can see, it kind of looks similar to last Friday. Was ranging here for a little bit, then did a nice drop down, push down. This one was more gradual drop, but as you can see, it hit that same level. It's retracing back up, so just going to keep an eye on that, see the next candlesticks look like. But yeah, as of now, nothing's really showing me anything that I like that's going to make me want to enter. GJ is retracing back up, so I'm going to see if it can break above this level, see what it's going to do. 80 New Zealand still stuck here. So yeah, just going to be chilling right now. Still rejecting that level, which is a good sign. So I want to see how this candlestick closes. It could come back up. That's what I like to see happen. But again, just going to wait and see what price is showing me. So those that aren't in the free Telegram, this is how we did last week. Oh, here it is. And those that are just clicking this channel, make sure to subscribe. Also, click that first link, join the free Telegram. That way you're notified when I enter any trades, get notified when TPs get hit as well. Of course, these are just trades I personally enter. Before you enter any trades, go on the charts yourself, see if you see what I see if you agree with what I say or what I'm looking at. And if you don't, you don't got to enter. I'm just learning. These are just trades that I personally enter. But last week we caught 111 pips. On Monday, Tuesday we caught 9,911 pips. Wednesday we caught 22,054 pips. Thursday we caught 1,953 pips. Friday we caught 202 pips. End the week with 34,231 pips, which is not bad. We only lost one trade last week, and we took about 4 to 5 trades every day. We took about 4 or 5 trades max every day, and we only lost one trade Friday, which isn't bad. It was a little bit slower than last week, again, because of all that red folder news. When that stuff's going on, you want to be really cautious when whether you want to enter the charts or not. But as we see this week, it's going to be a lot less hectic. So as long as the setups are there, should be no issues taking these trades. Yes, but it's going to shot back up. So we're going to see how those candlesticks close. Let's see what GBPJPY is doing. So it's pushing back up as well. So it's following what GJ is doing slightly. Kind of in the middle of the zone here. Broke past this level here. Retested this level, was pushing back up. Once your Euro New Zealand can come back up to this level, around 75.05, 75.10. And if we can stay above that level, we're going to look for buys. I want to see if it's going to reject this level and continue to push up. This level right here. I want to see if it's going to respect that level and continue to push back up. That's what I'd like to see. And it looks like it's doing that so far. Hour. Yeah, so we can see it respecting it so far. So the rejection wicks pushing price back up. So yeah, when volume picks up, I want to see if it's going to shoot back up to the top side of this zone. Then we'll look for potentially a buy setup. But for now, just going to be patiently watching this. And Euros each F to see what that's up to. Don't like what anything else is doing. Keep an eye on GJ as well, but I want to see a break above this level before I do anything with it. But of course, it could continue to drop down because as we see on the daily time frame, like I said before, all the other times that come up here, and you see it has rejected it. Broke above it this time, but then it tanks back down, rejected, tanks back down, tanks back down. So very much so could do that. But this is the only candlestick here compared to these times where it was a huge push up like this. Then we have the rejection wick on this zone, which continue to push it back up. So it does look a little bit different compared to these candlesticks here. But again, you can still see it struggling to break this level. Let's see if we can see the last time prices even broke above here. Let's see if we can find it. So the last time price was even above here was February 2016. So that is quite a long time since price has been above that level. And ever since then, it's just been rejecting that level. So you got to keep that in mind. It hasn't been up here since 2016. Well, it hasn't broke above here and continued to push up since 2016. If you want to count this, you can count this. But again, you want a couple pips above it, like 40 pips above it. All right. And then just drops back down. So I want to see if it can break that today. But as you can see right now, it's rejecting the level. It's doing a retest, rejecting the wall. Price is currently under. So just going to be observing that to see what it's going to do for the day. Turned your $50 account by $456 by last Friday. Hey, that's what's up. That's what's up. Shout out to you. That's what's up. Now, would you like risking the same amount? What was you trading? How exactly did you do that? Yeah, I don't like where nothing else is at. So you're going to be keeping an eye on these two pairs for now. We got about 4 minutes to the next 15-minute candlestick. Let's see what that's looking like. Got 2 hours until the next 4 hour, but you also see on the 4 hour time frame we have this huge imbalance. So it might retrace and try to fill up the 50 on this, then come back up. That's always a possibility because if we look at the fib, 50 still hasn't been filled up. So it could very much so come down to here, then continue back up. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. GJ SPX. Yeah. Those will do it. GJ will give a lot of pips. GJ, you'll catch a lot of pips if you're going the right way. Same with SPX. I like trading those two. Let's see if we can flip that what you said? 456. You said you caught 600 pips on GJ and trail the hell out of stop loss. Yeah. So what do you do? What do you swing trade or what? Or is that just you say you caught 600 pips and trail the hell out of your stop loss? let's go to GJ. Hell of a lot of pips. So right here, that's like 300. Yeah, so I can see you catching 600 because it did have a huge move to the upside. Definitely see you do that. SPX is still been pushing down to mixture of both. Okay, yeah, I feel you. Yeah, but see, shout out to Cursor. So it's definitely possible, y'all. Well, he does a little bit. He has a little combination of both, but whatever your strategy is, doesn't really matter as long as you're consistent with it. And you know, the most important thing, securing your profits. You can definitely grow your accounts. It's just when you're trying to rush things, over leveraging a little too much, or most important, not securing profits that will hurt you. Because people can turn their screens can turn blue all the time, but if you don't close or secure those profits, price can move quick, y'all. Price can move quick. It's not going to wait for you. Price don't care about you. Price is going to do what it does. So that's why it's important to secure your profits. Okay, it's rejecting this level. So showing a little good sign. We've got about 1 minute till the next 15. So we want to see what those candlesticks look like. Yeah, so I want to see if it's going to close above here. We want to see the next candlestick break above it. If the next candlestick breaks above here, the same level that I might enter, depending on what they look like. So we got a new candlestick about to pop up. So let's see what this next candlestick looks like when it decides to do. Yeah, but I can already tell I'm probably not going to enter anything really until New York session, which is fine. So I might do New York session live stream today. Usually going to do it on Mondays, but depends on what the charts look like. If I see some interesting things, I might do one. But if not, just going to be watching the charts, just trying to look for some setups. But yeah, rejecting that level. So I might break back under this zone before it pushes up. Obviously, I'd rather not see that happen, but it does have some space to correct, even on the 4 hour right here. Doesn't mean it has to do it today, but it's definitely possible it could do that, and looks like it's trying to. But of course, it's respecting this level because price will always respect certain levels. Even if it's continuing down or up, it's still going to react to these levels before breaking through or rejecting them. So that's not a surprise there. Yeah, but either way, in or out of trades, I still like to do these live streams because it really is to show people the reality of trading. You know, sometimes some live streams, if you go look at the past live streams, as soon as New York session start, as soon as London session starts, we'll jump in a couple trades, might jump into 3 trades, might jump into 2 trades. We'll have some TPs get hit left, right, et cetera, et cetera. And then some days it's real slow. We're just patiently waiting for setups, and then maybe an hour into it, then we'll find some setups. Or sometimes, you know, we won't get into anything until New York session. It just varies on opportunities, but that's why you need to have a good strategy that you can use on multiple different charts. That way you can at least you'll have a higher chance of finding an opportunity because, you know, there's some pairs we trade often, but there's also pairs that we trade maybe once or twice a week. And there's some pairs that we trade every other week, this time the third. And it really varies. That's why some traders, people, because, some people just trade a couple pairs, but there's no setups, they can't really trade. So that's why I kind of like this strategy. I just go through a bunch of charts, going to find something. For the most part, I'm going to find something. Just have to be patient and wait. But for the most part, I usually find something. So GU's pushing up a little. Probably going to leave this long to New York anyways, though. New 15. What is it? Euro account? Look at Euro CHF. So Euro CHF's up too. Yeah, so JPY pairs are rejecting this level. Kind of like how AD JPY is looking though. Correlating pairs like to move together, but AD JPY is currently in a somewhat of a downtrend. He's at a good level for entry. So let's go on the smaller time frame and see what we see here. So we see this imbalance getting filled up right now, so it could reject that level. So let's see what it's looking like. Let's see what it's looking like. Could enter a sell right here. Just gonna patiently wait. Because again, GJ, I want to look for a buy setup, but JPY pairs are rejecting right now, and AU JPY is in a downtrend and showing me that it's still respecting this level as a resistance level. So I'm gonna keep an eye on this. Gonna see what it looks like, what the next candlestick looks like. If it stay underneath this level, I'm gonna enter, but it could still come up to here. Either way, depending on what the next candlesticks look like, I might look for a setup here. Let me see what New Zealand JPY is up to. Whoops. New Zealand JPY, I don't really like what that's at. It's at this level here. Let me see what it's looking like. I'll keep an eye on that, but I like how AUDJPY is looking better. I like how that looks better. Keep an eye on that. New Zealand still not. Whoops, just broke my screen. Yeah, so this is just ranging. I'm just going to leave that alone for a little bit. Let it decide what it wants to do. That red candle turned green. So yeah, like I said, I want to see if we can break this level again. I'm going to be patiently waiting for that. We got about 9 minutes to the next 15-minute candlestick, so we still got plenty of time to do something. Let's go to 5 minutes, see what's going on. But yeah, came down, respected this level, pushed back up. So I want to see it break back above this level, and then we'll go from there. So it's going to let that do its thing. Here's CHF, pushing back down. I want to see if we can break back underneath this level. Then I might enter a sell. So both of these are looking good for us. Both of these are looking good. Not going to jump in yet still. Waiting for some more confirmations, but I do like how these candlesticks are looking. Probably do the same stop loss. Could bring it up to here, but I don't know if that's necessary. As we see here, it didn't really break this level. It did a little bit here, but this seems to be a pretty good level to have it at. So I'm going to put it there. That'd be about, it's not too bad. Not too big of a stop loss. So yeah, about a 1 to 3. Then right here, 1 to 2 risk to reward. Which isn't too bad. So I might put something like that. I want to see if it'll break back under before I enter though. If it breaks back under, then I'll probably enter. So I'm gonna keep an eye on these two pairs right here. Broke back above, so yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good. So I'm still gonna patiently wait a little bit. But if it breaks past this wick, then I might enter on this candlestick. But if it doesn't break past that, I'm gonna wait for the next candlestick. But I do like how it's looking. GBPJPY dropped hard. Let me see if GJ dropped hard too. Yeah, GJ's rejecting that level hard. So I do like how this is looking. So if it breaks past this wick right here, I might enter. So the very same thing. If it breaks past this level, I want to see how it's going to react to this level. So far, it's reacting how it normally would. This level of price right here. So I want to see if it'll break past these two wicks or if it'll close underneath here. Because you can see this nice wall right here. You can see this wall of price right here where I put this line at. So I do like how it's looking. Got 6 minutes until the next 15. So I'm just going to wait and see what's going on there. But like always, depending on the momentum direction price is going, price can reverse transitioning from London to New York session. So always keep that in mind and always secure your profits going from there. But I do like how your AUD is looking. Let me see what your CHF's up to. Yeah, so it's pushing back under here. So yeah, might enter a few things soon. So let me get these TPs and signals ready for my members. So give me 1 second. If I'm quiet, that's because I'm typing some stuff up. So just give me 1 second, y'all. So for this SL, I'm looking at about 55. We can say 55.70. Round down a little bit, give price some wiggle room to do its thing. And let's just get some of these TPs up. 5. This lower price right here. Lower price right here. Give me 1 second, y'all. So I want to see it at least come to around like 56.45, 56.40. That's what I want to see it at least come to. But it could reject when it hits this level here. That's what I want to see it at least come to. So I'm going to keep an eye on that, see what's going on there. Euro CHF. A little tighter stop loss. Let's see what AD New Zealand's up to. So AD New Zealand finally ripped past that level, which is good because I was just talking shit about you. I guess you heard me. So I want to see if it can close underneath here. And if so, Might enter a sell position because, again, looking at the bigger time frame, then you see we're in a downtrend, the beginning of a downtrend. It's been making new lows, hasn't made any highs or really seen any green candlesticks since September. You can see the lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. So I want to see it come back down. That's what I'm looking for right there. I like how this is looking. So before I even send out any signals or trade ideas, let me go ahead and put my disclaimer out. Put this disclaimer out every morning just to remind people, because, you know, a lot of people, especially in like telegrams and stuff, you send out trade ideas, they just assume automatically 100%, you know, it's going to go all the way in our favor, always go our way. Or like, oh yeah, this is going to be a good trade right here. And last thing I want is people making silly mistakes, over leveraging or being greedy. So I'm going to pull up what I post. So if you want to see what I posted, you can go ahead and click that first link to join the free Telegram. But I'm going to pull it up in a second. I just want to keep an eye on these charts real quick and see what's going on. Yeah, so it's rejecting that level. See, this is why I want to see it break it, because it's a nice wall right here. But it's still a good sign that it went that far. So it's going to be waiting for the next candlestick. Euro AUD broke above it, rejected it. So I might wait a little bit to see what that's going to do. I'm not going to enter that one yet. We got about 40 seconds to the next 15-minute candlestick. So let's see what that one's going to do, what that one's looking like. We gotta go from there. Have a couple good setups though. If price continues to go that way, have a couple good setups though. New 15, price pushing back up. So this might be the one we enter on, y'all. This might be the one. Still struggling to break this level though. But this might be the one we enter on. This looks like it's about to try to drop down. AJ's attempting to push back down. Okay, New Zealand's underneath. I like how this is looking. So let me get this signal ready just in case. For this one, SL, I'm looking at about 1180. You can say 1185. What will be the TPs? Excuse me. Let's see. Definitely see it coming down to like 1140. Definitely see that. Because you can see right here at 1140, very strong support resistance level. So when it comes here, it could very much so reject, or you can either reject or it could continue to go down. So just got to keep that in mind. Let's see here. So reverse back up. Just nothing out the ordinary. Just gonna be keeping an eye on that one. USHF's looking good. Your AED still struggling. GBPJPY still reversing off that level. Yeah, so just gonna be patiently waiting. I'm not in a rush to enter any trades. We got all day. We got all day to enter trades. So still gonna be patiently waiting for the confirmations. I like how your CHF's looking though. If it can close underneath here, I might enter. But we'll see. Let's see what it's looking like on the 4 hour. So that's probably struggling too. We got this huge imbalance on the 4 hour time frame. 50 already got filled up the other day though. So I want to see if we can at least come to 97.30, 97.35. I want to see if we can at least come to there. Those that's in the stream, make sure to hit that like button. Just dropped a video yesterday on the top 5 tools I like to use on TradingView personally. I'm going to go ahead and drop that link in here in a second. But yeah, it's been pretty slow line of session. But that is normal for a Monday. Because the bigger the candlesticks, of course, obviously, the more pips you'll catch. So, all strategies require a little patience. You still got to wait for your rules, not with all strategies. But this one, just a little bit more picky about when and what I enter. In 1 second. Yeah. Got some trade breakdown videos going to be dropping this week. I'm going to drop one today. And I'm going to drop one later today. And I'm dropping one a couple more this week. So be on the lookout for those as well. We caught some crazy moves last week. So definitely going to be breaking those down. Yes, I do like how this is looking. I might enter this in a second. But got about 7 minutes to the next 15-minute candlestick. So I might just wait for the 15 if price doesn't decide to try to run off. Your AED push back up. So yeah, I do like how this is looking. So I think the next 15-minute candlestick is going to be the one we enter off of. I think so, because these candlesticks keep turning from red to green. We keep seeing them turn to red to green, which is a good sign for us. Aging Zealand's breaking back down. So yeah, I think this next candlestick we might be entering some trades. So 40 minutes into London session, not too bad. Well, 45 minutes, and the next candlestick comes out. I do like how AD New Zealand's looking. I do like how AD JPY is looking. Euro AED and Euro CHF as well. AD JPY, my SL, I'm looking at about 92. We can say 92.25 just to round up. Let's see here. So trying to figure out what these TPs are going to be. So give me 1 second. Okay, you see price drop down to here. Price not right here. Definitely see price come to about 92.50, 92.45 before it reverses. I can definitely see that happening. Yeah, so I'm keeping an eye on these. You'll see it just still kind of struggling. New 5 minute just popped up. Got about 5 minutes, well, 4.5 minutes to the next 15. Let me see something. Okay, it closed above. Yeah, so we can stay above here, depending on what the next candlestick looks like. Show signs of trying to push back up. I might enter this one. But as you can see, it's still rejecting, or struggling, I should say. Well, it is rejecting, but still struggling to break this level, which again is why I chose this level for my confirmation. Because if it can't even break this level, it's not even worth really entering. Because any trade you enter, you want to have a good risk to reward. You don't want to enter anything that's not a good risk to reward. Like, this isn't even a 1-to-1. And I recommend it trading. You should at least have a 1-to-2 to 1-to-3 risk to reward minimum. That way, you're risking your money is worth what you could potentially make. So with this is a 1-to-3 risk to reward. That means if I'm risking $5, I could potentially, again, keyword, potentially make $15. You shouldn't be entering any trade that doesn't have at least 1-to-2 to 1-to-1 risk to reward, because if the trade doesn't go your way and you lose that money, one, it wasn't a high probability trade. Well, it could be high probability, but it's not a good risk to reward. Okay, you want to make the trade be worth it. You shouldn't just be entering anything. Oh, this is looking like it could go up. Okay, and then it might go up 5 pips, but is that worth it? They made 5 pips. They made some money. That's cool. But the lot size you put in, whatever the lot size is, this, that, and the third, was it over leveraging? Was it even worth the lot size? Was it even worth entering? Was the trade even worth the risk? The risk reward would definitely help you visually see if what you're looking at is even a valid or even a good trade, because you need to have a good risk reward with any trade you take. Now, so just going to be patiently waiting for these, see what they're going to do. I want to see if we can close underneath this wall. Also, those that are in here, make sure to follow my Instagram. I haven't posted something in about a week, but I'm going to be getting back to it this week. Like you see down there, follow my Instagram and TikTok. Go start posting consistently on there. Definitely follow TikTok, because I can't go live on there until I hit 1,000 followers. And I plan on, well, when I can going live on there, I'm going to be doing some live streams on there. Going to be talking about some stuff. Got a lot of things planned with TikTok and Instagram as well. But you can hit me up on Instagram, DM me directly at playmaker_way, or if you're into Telegram, just click right here. You can hit me up on the Telegram here. I respond to all messages. You can ask me anything. Well, okay, I can say you ask me anything, but don't ask me like, like example, like, oh, do you see NAS sells right now or NAS buys right now, something like that? Because one, if I see something, and if I'm not streaming during New York, or usually what I say during the London session live stream stays valid until New York. Of course, that can change, depending on what the candlesticks look like and stuff like that. But for the most part, well, it's not for the most part. I stream Monday through Friday, London session every morning. So if you didn't check that stream out, every stream I go over all the charts, especially the indices and futures, what I'm looking at for the day. And then I do exclusive New York session live streams with the members. And I just really don't like that question, because especially if I'm not looking at the charts, I can't really tell you much. Like, I can tell you like prices or like, look at my levels and stuff like that. But I'm not going to say like I see NAS buys or sells, because I could see that, but it might not be at the price I want it to be at. It might not be at the ideal entry. And the last thing I want is people to be like, oh, well, you said you saw this, saw that, blah, blah, blah. So, other than that, don't ask me questions like that. But you can ask me questions about anything. I always respond. Here to help y'all. Anyone that's willing to put the work in, I want to see succeed in Forex, because it's definitely possible when you have the right strategy and mindset in place. It's definitely possible. I went from struggling all the time to blowing accounts left and right, failing challenges left and right, and I took some time out, focused, really sat down on the charts, really did some back testing, really did some observing, and then I figured out a lot of coincidences and how price repeats itself over and over again. And that's when I figured out the strategy. And ever since then, I've just been consistently catching pips. Just takes some patience, but it's definitely possible. So we got the new 15-minute candlestick popping up. I want to see what it's going to do, because I want to enter some trades before I end this London session live stream. But obviously, I'm not going to force anything. But if the opportunity is there, definitely want to enter some trades. Euro CHF is definitely tempting me. Still want to wait to see it go a little bit farther. UAD, I want to see break back above this level. GBPJPY is pushing back up, so I'm just going to leave that alone. AD New Zealand, going to wait to see what that decides to do. Looks like it's trying to push back down. You can literally see it pushing down, which is always a good sign. Now I just need to see if it can stay underneath this level. Here's CHS pushing down. Definitely like how it's looking. Did the retest of this wall right here. Drop down. Did the retest of this level of price. Rejected that level, is pushing down. So if we stay underneath this wall, break these previous lows that you saw it kind of almost did. See this as far price went. It literally went where price closed at on Friday. You saw where I put the line, and that's literally where price closed at before it reversed back up. So if we can break that level, definitely that's going to be the first target. I do like how it's currently looking right here. So we're going to keep an eye on that. Let's see what your AD is up to. Everything's really struggling, but I do like how that's looking right there. Yes, just going to be keeping an eye on these. Do like how this is looking though. So on top of this level here, you can literally see where it's at right here. So we can break past that. I might enter. Might enter if we can break past that. Got the new 5 minute. I see buys right here. It's just gonna be fishing wherever. I do like how these are looking, but okay. So underneath that, let's see. You literally see price trying to push down. So go ahead and let's do it. Definitely like how that's looking. GBPJPY went a little bit high back up, but you can see he's respecting this level, which is important, and trying to come back down. Yeah, you're a CHF. I like how that's looking. Got 3 minutes to the next 5 minute comes out. Gonna see what that candlestick looks like. Your AED keeps respecting. It's respecting this level, which is important. But every time it comes back up here, as you can see, candlestick after candlestick, this whole session. Besides that first candlestick, after it hit that level, rejected, came back up, rejected, came back up, rejected, came back up, rejected, came back up. So when the line picks back up, it can definitely break that level because it's trying to multiple times. Got an hour left in the 4-hour candlestick. JPY is pushing back up, so that's cool. Yeah, I really like how USCHF is looking. Still gonna wait though. Got 1 minute to the next 5 minutes, so let's see what this looks like. New 5 minutes just popped up. So I want to see this retest back to this level. It might continue to push back down, but I want to see it retest. But I do like how this is looking. Might retrace a little bit on the next 15. But I do like how this is looking. So let me go ahead and get this signal ready because I do like how this is looking. Round 2 on EuroCHF. Let's see if it can do what it struggled to do on Friday. But I do see sales because we go into bigger time frames. You see how prices rejected this level multiple times here. You see it rejected here. You see it rejecting here, here. This was July. This is August. This is September, right? This is October, the beginning of October. This is this week, obviously. Then we go into bigger time frames. You can see it more clearly that it's been in a downtrend for a while. It's been in a downtrend since June. If you zoom out further, you can see it's really been dropping. You can say all the way since March last year. So that's why I'm looking at this, and that's why my bias is for sales for the most part. So do y'all see buys or sells? I see sells though. What do y'all see though? Do y'all see buys or sells? I personally see sales. Now let me zoom in because now it just looks like a bunch of lines. But I personally see sales right here. Then your ADs rejecting that level, which isn't a surprise. So don't let that do its thing. Because again, when we look at the bigger time frames, we see this huge imbalance. It might try to fill up that imbalance before pushing back up. It might come to this level right here, hit this wall, then come up. Could do a lot of things, but I'm still seeing buys. But I'm just going to patiently wait for when price is ready to continue to go up, which is why you want to wait for multiple confirmation candlesticks because it could be overall going down, but retracements do happen. Price doesn't just go straight down. Uptrend, price doesn't just go straight up. That's why you want to wait for those confirmations showing that price is ready to do that and volume is in place for price to do that. So let's look at these pairs. GJ is dropping down, but GBPJPY is still pushing up, retesting that level. So they're kind of veering off, doing their own things right now. AUD New Zealand's looking nice. So we got 1 minute, minute and a half to the next 15. If it could stay underneath here, very much so might enter this for a sell because it's underneath this big wall right here. Still a little bit of traffic here and there, but again, looking at the bigger time frames, you can see how this is a strong support level. Strong support can be a strong resistance. Strong support can be a strong resistance level, and then on top of that, when you look at the bigger time frames, you can see clearly that we're in a downtrend. You can see a struggle for the past couple of days to stay underneath this level. Well, to close and break under, but you see it filled up this imbalance here. But that's besides the point. On the bigger time frames, you can see it was in an uptrend, failed to make new highs for about a month now, and you can see that it's been making actually new lows. Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Want to see it come back down to here. And it's definitely at a good position for that. But again, it is Monday, so there's not a lot of volume in the markets. So keep that in mind. Might not go zone to zone. And like I always say, every trade is not guaranteed to go all the way to our final TPR in our favor. We do not control the markets. Our buys do not make the markets go up. Our sells don't make the markets go down. I don't care if there's 50 people, 100 people, 1,000 people all entering. We're not going to affect the markets. The government, the hedge funds, the banks control the markets. We do not. We simply just want to, we're simply a leaf in the water, all right? So it's our job to determine which way the current's going so we can go that way and make money. We never want to go against the currents, okay? And always, I personally recommend risking no more than 1 to 5% of your account per trade. If you don't know how to calculate your lot size, the members in the group chat, there's a pinned video exactly how to do it. But also, if you're not a member, it just comes down to simple math. You just got to calculate, your stop loss and things like that, and determine, okay, if I only want to risk 5% per trade, you have a $100 account, you do $100, times 0.05. That's how much you need to risk per trade. And then from there, you just got to figure out by doing some math. Every trade is going to be different depending on your stop loss, but you just have to do some simple math and determine, what exactly do I need to put my lot size for this trade to make sure that I'm not risking more than 5% or as close to 5% as possible. Because, of course, you got to put into account spread and a whole bunch of other stuff. But, again, that's another topic. Your AD is reattempting, your CHF staying underneath the zone. Yes, I like how your CHF's looking. GBPJPY is pushing back down. New Zealand is really struggling with this level. It's underneath it now, but I'm going to see it try to continue to push down. So I'm going to wait a little bit. But I do like how it's looking. Okay, so it's pushing back down a little bit. Got a slight still level of traffic right here. You can see these candlesticks close, and then look at that. Coincidentally, that's where price hit and rejected the past 15 minutes, past 30 minutes. Not really a coincidence, but you get what I mean. So I want to see if we can break past these wicks. If we can break past those wicks, especially this one, I might enter. Yeah, I like how USCHF's looking. Well, it hasn't broken past this previous low, but I do like how this is looking. So I might enter this. Go for around 2 on Euro CHF. And again, like I said, only risking 1 to 5% of your account per trade. I'm not about to throw in a crazy lot size on this trade, but stop loss, I'm looking at about 97.85. But I do like how this is looking. I'd be lying if I said I didn't. So do like how this is looking, so I might enter this. Yeah, so I personally entered this. Again, if y'all want to see what I'm seeing, you don't have to, but I personally entered this. I'm about to put the TPs in the channel. And we're going to go from there. But I did personally enter this on the sell, and it is dropping as we speak. Like I said, stop loss is 97.85. I did personally enter this. So I want to see if we can break this level of price right here. So I want to see if the first checkpoint, I want to see it hit at least 97.40. And if it can hit 97.40, depending on what it does there, we'll continue to hold or not. But like I say, here with my TPs, my strategy, specifically when a TP gets hit, you'll either reject or break through. So that's why I suggest y'all join the free Telegram. So that way you notify when TPs get hit. That way you can make sure to secure your profits on time. Because like I said, when a TP gets hit, it's either going to reject, like we see price reject here, right? Or it's going to reject like we see price reject here, or it's going to break through like we see price doing here. Or it might just play around. It does 3 things. I keep saying I need to update that, but I haven't updated it yet. But it's either going to reject, break through, or play in this level of price like right here. Again, this is the 15-minute time frame, so this is hours of price just took a nap, right? Hours of price ranging in this level right here. Whoops, let me get rid of this because I'm not selling that. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for. I'm gonna be patiently waiting for 80 in New Zealand, but I do see sales on 80 in New Zealand. See where CHF's at too. Yeah, so it's pushing a little bit. A couple pips away from the first TP checkpoint. Can definitely do it. Definitely do it. Only in Euro CHF as of now. A couple pips away from the first TP. I am slight blue. I am blue. I'm definitely blue. And we're almost at the first TP. I am blue though. I'm up a couple pips. So let's see if we can hit the first TP. Make sure hit that like button, you know. This signal right here, I only put it. This one's a members only signal, but of course, people in the live stream, y'all can enter. Like I said, stop loss, I'm looking at 97.85. First TP checkpoint's going 97.40. We're about a couple pips away. Going to see if we can hit that. And I'll say the next TPs and list them off from there. But this one's strictly members only, mainly because it's pretty slow right now. So always get the members and the students. They all well first off, they notify all the trades I enter, but of course they get notified for most of the trades I enter compared to the free Telegram. On top of that, of course, and since it's pretty slow, want to make sure they're taken care of first. So that's why it's going to be strictly members only. But like I said, I'm going to be trading New York session as well. So any other trades I enter, some will go into the free Telegram. Looking at AD, New Zealand, just keeping an eye on AJ. Not messing with that as of now, but AD New Zealand is what I'm really paying attention to. I want to see it break past this level. It's definitely trying. Definitely trying. Definitely trying. So at this level here, so I needed to stay underneath this level. Needed to stay underneath this level of price. Need to stay under here. As you can see, it's rejecting that level. So I want to see what the next candlesticks look like. But if you can stay underneath this level of price right here and continue to push down, it can definitely come and continue to go down. So far, it's staying underneath it, but it's definitely struggling. You can see, so far, it is staying underneath it. But it doesn't matter where it's at. What's important is where the candlestick closes. So yeah, we missed the first D by a couple pips. Still slightly blue. Not up as much, obviously, but still holding on. I'm going to see if it can do so. If it can do so. Yeah, just want to let price do its thing there. Your AD still struggling. AD New Zealand. I'm trying to jump into this on the string, but it's taking a little while to do its move. So I'm going to keep an eye on AD New Zealand. Looking for sales, but waiting for it to break this level. GBPJPY, depending on what that does, might look for a sell. But like I said, I personally want to see a buy on GJ. I want to see if we can break this level here. Obviously, it's been struggling a little bit, so just gonna be watching that. I do want to enter your AD, and then when New York session comes up, I'm looking for sales on literally everything. I'm looking for sales for US30, NAS, SPX, literally everything. I'm going to be looking for sales. I just want price to retrace a little bit closer before I enter, but literally looking for sales for everything. Looking for sales for US30, looking for sales for NAS, Sure 30, SPX, because again, everything on the daily time frame. You should be looking at the overall direction of price on the bigger time frames, daily time frame minimum. Weekly's cool and all, but definitely daily time frame. So you can see the overall direction price is going. Looking for sales for everything. Just waiting for them to retrace a little bit or come to my key price levels where I ideally want to enter. Same thing with gold. USDX is actually at a good entry, so I'm just going to keep an eye on that one. So let me go ahead and mark that down so I can keep an eye on that one. USDX is actually at a good entry. That's the only future that I like where it's at. Everything else, I'm just going to patiently wait to see what it's going to do. Oil's at a cool entry, but still, I'm just going to leave that alone. I'm going to leave most of these alone until closer to New York session, if not exactly at New York session. Like I said, I just dropped a new video yesterday. Got some more trade break. Well, that wasn't a trade breakdown video, but I do have some trade breakdown videos dropping today and later on this week, as well as some other content. Be on the lookout for that. Your CHF retraced up a little bit, but as you can see, it's still trying to push down, which is a good sign. So still holding this. Always hold to SL or TP. Make sure to click that first link to join the free Telegram. AD New Zealand. Gonna let this marinate a little bit. It's on the right track, but still gonna stick to my rules and just be patient. You should never be in a rush to throw your money in the market or throw your money away. I'm going to see you on the next live stream tomorrow morning. And we out.